Positive Living Center is our name, and we're part of the International New Thought Alliance. Where we meet on Sunday, we have banners that say, change your thinking, change your life. And so that's the basic foundation of what it is that we teach. We have a belief in tithing, so 10% of our donations at the end of the year are divided up between usually 4 or maybe 5 organizations that we have picked through input from the congregation, the organizations that they feel connected to, and people that we have a heart connection or that we know are doing very good work in the world or in our community. One Up Single Parents Resource Center, and that was recommended by a member of the board, and knowing that they were doing some really good work in helping single parents in order to reestablish their lives.
Everyone knows the slogan, takes a village to raise a child. We're really such a village. We are there for single parents, no matter what background. We're there to give support to single parents, and by that means, of course, to their children. Those of us who've been single parents know how difficult it can be, how lonely an experience it can be. Hundreds of people come through our door or through the phone every month. And that's thousands of kids by the time you put it all together. So it's a really, really important service, and it's one of the few such agencies in Canada. It's worth pointing out some statistics, if I may. That is to say, 80% of single parent families in Canada and in this city are headed by women. Over 50% of those people live in poverty, which means that kids are growing up in deprived situations. No matter how much love there is, if you're struggling with poverty, it's a tough call.
The really key thing is you're not giving in order to receive. You're simply giving in order to fulfill what you feel is an obligation to humanity and an obligation to the world, to be a part of that giving.
We have mentoring programs. In fact, people can be trained in peer mentoring techniques and skills, which is a useful skill. We have counseling. People can come for as many as 10 sessions, 1-hour sessions of free counseling for one-on-one with a skilled counselor. We have various services which help people find employment and so forth. We have courses, a number of courses, some of them specifically, for example, for dads with dads, some of them for women only, some of them for groups, all variety of different ways of how to be a better parent, really, or how to just live your life in a more fulfilled fashion, or how to gain skills so that you can, I suppose you might say, live an enhanced life. And we also have practical support. We have clothing room, free clothing, we have toys, book room, bread room. So people, all our members are just free to come and take what they need and want.
It's good that your congregation, and you are looking at helping others outside of the area rather than just at home.
The International Association for Transformation. We have supported them for years. We have 2 children that we support in moving on in their education, and now they're at the college level. And then this is in the Philippines, and then they in turn move out into the community and become a force for good within the communities there.
In the Philippines, we've been operating there for 32 years. And we started, I was just backpacking around that part of the world way back in the 70s and saw a fantastic need. Children were walking for 2 or 3 hours to get to a little village school, if the village had a school. They would take charcoal from their fire and pick banana leaves on the way to school, and they were trying to learn writing with charcoal and banana leaves. $400 a year provides school supplies and tuition fees and transportation and medical and food and accommodation for these children that have to come out of their remote villages, because there's the schools in the villages, if they have schools, might go up to grade 4, 5, or 6, and that's it. And we try to put our kids, those that can have the ability to, we try to put them right through colleges and universities, because that's when they can really go back to their villages and make a difference. The last few years, we have been developing peace projects in the Philippines, and the whole program now is run by little kids we've seen grow up from 9 and 10 years old, and they have gone, we've put them through schools and universities, and they're the ones now that are running the program and have been out there for the last 12 or 14 years. And one of the key things that they are involved in is bringing peace between villages. If my village was at war with your village, normally this conflict would last for years and years, and there'd be a lot of animosity and hatred, and maybe one of your relatives had killed one of ours, and it goes back and forth like that. So our students in the Philippines said, why don't we develop a program where we give a heifer, a cow, I will give a cow to somebody that I have been in, or my family or my clan has been in conflict in your village. The agreement is that when that calf, that heifer that I've given you has a calf, you have to give that to your enemy or a clan in another village. So this has created a whole new dynamic up in this area of peace. And we've got kids from our sponsorship program that are now in 50 different villages up there. And they're back as agriculturists or nurses or midwives or foresters, and they are making a tremendous difference in that whole part of the northern Philippines, very remote area up in the mountains.
In many spiritual faiths, there's this practice of tithing. And I think it's a part of building faith and giving first. It's changing people to a different focal point. You know, rather than being immersed in whatever the problem is, taking one's attention to the fact that there is an answer. It lies somewhere. This problem, whatever it might be, has been solved by other people at other times, and that it's basically a temporary experience. I like to look at it as two men looked out from behind the bars. I heard this one time, and one saw the mud and the other the stars. And just encouraging people to look to a higher ideal concerning their life.